Today we're going to be building a set of rock sliders. Now, I used to run the tubular style rock slider that used to sit under the sill panel there, but I always found I used to hit them, and I think it's just because they sat so low. And another issue with running them is I used to get sticks and stuff stuck in them, or a rock or something, and it would push this plastic up, and then you wouldn't be able to open the door, and you'd sort of have to cram the door open or undo the window and try and reach down and grab them out so you could open the door. So I've seen a few people, and I've actually wanted to do this idea for a long time now, is they actually cut the bottom of the sill panel off and they weld a bit of box section under there. And I'd really like that idea because it keeps it nice and neat. It doesn't look like it actually has rock sliders on it, and we keep as much ground clearance as possible. Like, you think if that's our sill panel there, and then we have another 50mm tube there with about 10mm of clearance, that's 60mm lower in ground clearance if you were to chuck your traditional style on. So the goal is just to run a bit of, I don't know, I haven't even measured what box section or something I'm going to use, but if we have a bit of 50mm RHS, it's literally going to be no lower than what we have there. I think that's going to be a pretty good idea. So let's we'll pull all this plastic off and just see what we're sort of working with under there. I did nick it there, but I didn't actually go through any wiring, just the sheathing on top, so super lucky. Well, I think that turned out pretty good. I've been wanting to do that for a long time now, and I've just been putting it off, so I'm glad that's all done. Now, you might wonder why I rivet it. I put rivets in here and not bolts, and that's simply because to get to the bolts behind, I'd have to pull all the inner guard out, and I know I could put a bolt nut here on the outside, but I thought one rock and that's going to rip all that guard and everything straight off, where these alloy rivets, if you're pushing hard enough against a rock, it'd just take the head of those off. Like, anyone that's drilled out alloy rivets know they drill out like butter, so that was sort of my thoughts there. Now, the material I end up going with is just 100 by 50, and just opened up the ends so it matches my body lines here. You could actually go like a 150 by 50 and have it hang out 50 mil, which that probably wouldn't look too bad. I thought going with the body lines would look all right, but if that stuck out a little bit, it'd actually give you a side step and somewhere to stand on if you need to hang out the door or something. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I've already gone ahead and done the other side, so both our seals are now done. They're nice and strong. They're 3mm material. We're not going to push up the old seals, and I think it was once I've pushed it up and the seal hit the bottom of the door and I couldn't open the door. I had to gently tap it back down. But at the start, I wasn't actually gonna run the seal into the guard, but when I was first building this car, I had the forklift twine on the chassis under there, and it actually slipped off and buckled this guard all the way up. So that's why I wanted something under the bottom here, so if any rock or anything else, it can't mash up our guards. That's why I've sort of put it on the angle in there, so it protects all the bottom of the body in there. And the worst case it can do is rip the flare off, which they always rip off anyway. This was a nice quick video on how sort of I did it. There's other ways you could do it. You could cut it right up the top here, but I think it turned out really well. I actually had a hell of a time welding to this material. This is like 0.8 thick to 3mm, and I had to weld it down as low as I could, and even then it was really hard. So every single one of those welds there is a spot weld, and it took me, I think it was just over half a day on each side, so not too bad. And then I finished it just with some sort of a Raptor coating, which you can see it sort of had a reaction with something on there. I did give it a good clean before I painted it, but anyway, they're going to get scratched up as soon as I put it in the bush anyway. And the last thing I'll probably do is just put some front mud flaps on it, just so you can see all the sprinkle of the dirt everywhere. Just when you're cruising around, you don't want to, like, mud sprays up from these tires and it sort of gets you in the window. So I'll probably just put some kind of mud flap to match the back in the front. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.